Hey everyone, Monique here, and I want to speak to something about what Neville says in Feeling is the Secret, what Seth speaks to, and how this ties in with what C.G. Jung said. And I'm going to start with him. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it faith. Now, in Feeling is the Secret, Neville speaks about conditioned consciousness. He says, the world and all within it is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So, what he says here is that your conditioned consciousness, and conditioned means your habitual thinking, unquestioned thinking, is outpictured, and that's your life. Everything happens through you, through the lens of your life. Now, I want to go a bit deeper into explaining this because he also speaks to subconscious, right? But he didn't say that it's an actual thing. It was bothering me a little in the sense of Seth always said, we don't have a subconscious that you can't reach, because a lot of people, I think most of the people that understand conscious creation nowadays know that it's not about the subconscious and you cannot reach it and you don't know what's going on. You can reach it when you have mental sharpness. Nothing is unreachable in your consciousness. The thing is, what is asked of you is awareness. Like you need to be on it. Seth says that your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings create your reality. Thoughts and a feeling and a belief, these are tied together because a thought always comes with a feeling, and a belief is also comes with a feeling, but that feeling has a different quality. You don't even notice it anymore because it's habitual, just like the belief is habitual. Now listen closely. Seth says, Neville Goddard says that you can divide, wait, where is it exactly? For the sake, yeah, he says this literally. For the sake of clarity, you can liken consciousness unto a stream which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. He doesn't say that it's actually so. He says, for the sake of clarity. Which brings me back to what Seth says. There is no subconscious. Everything is conscious. You can reach everything, but you need awareness. When you have an unexamined consciousness, you can say that's the subconscious, that's what you're not aware of, or that you don't pay attention to because it's so habitual. And I had this happen recently that I was mind blown. Thought, what the fuck? Because I am pretty aware, dudes, like, no joke. In any case, you can reach everything, it's not outside of your reach. You need to have awareness of everything that is going on within your mind. Like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, don't let any thought go by without you examining the thought. So, unexamined consciousness is the subconscious. Aware consciousness is the consciousness that you're aware of. And you can Compare this to what Seth says, the thoughts, like a thought that you catch, that's a thought. It isn't a belief yet, it's not habitual. So the thought is what Neville says is conscious, and the habit, the belief, and habitual thought, because a belief is nothing else than a thought you kept thinking and is now unexamined, unquestioned. It's seen as the truth because you see it outpictured all the time. That's a belief. A belief often goes unexamined until you understand that believing is seeing. It's not seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing. And again, Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. So really get this. This whole example that Neville gives about the man and the woman, and because he speaks to whatever you give to the subconscious is like a female that receives and whatever. I don't even want to get into it exactly because it's just metaphorically speaking. It can be way simpler. You can use this if this works for you. You can use everything he says in Feeling is the Secret if it works for you. But if you're like, something doesn't sit quite right, that is true because everything is consciousness. Conscious. Nothing is necessarily, or actually, nothing is subconscious. It's just unexamined. It's a belief, and you take it for truth, but not anymore because you know how this stuff works. So I'm having a lot of fun with dissecting Feeling is the Secret and pulling it apart and giving you more information on it. Because the more you understand, the more fun it is to play with. Because all of these things are just tools to play with reality. And I love playing with reality. And I also love explaining it. So I trust that you enjoyed this little video on consciousness, the subconscious, which isn't really a thing, it's just for the sake of clarity that Neville made this distinction. Everything is in your conscious mind. Consciousness is the one and only reality. And everything you see outpictured in your world is because of a habitual thought, a belief that you have regarding to that subject, be it positive or negative. So the only work for you to do is start thinking a different thought with regards to the thing that you would like to change. You will automatically have a different feeling with it because that just goes automatically, and you will see a change. This is it for now. I adore you and I love that you're listening to my stuff. And a fit mind creates a beautiful body and an epic life, as you know by now. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or send me an email. Everything is in the description. And if you want to work with me, also in the description. And if not, I love you just the same. And I will see you in the next. Ciao.